In the world of professional wrestling, surprises are the heartbeat of the industry. Just when fans think they've seen it all, the WWE drops something so shocking that it makes the entire universe stop and take notice. That's exactly what happened when the announcement came. Steven Seagal's daughter was stepping into the WWE ring. For years, fans have been used to celebrity appearances, cameo roles, and even Hollywood stars testing their luck between the ropes. But this wasn't just another publicity stunt. This was the daughter of a man known worldwide for being one of the most fearsome martial artists ever to grace the big screen. Steven Seagal, the action movie icon, had built his reputation on breaking bones and outsmarting villains in blockbuster films. And now, his daughter was ready to step out of the shadows of Hollywood and carve her own legacy inside the squared circle. Her name had been whispered in wrestling circles for months. Rumors spread like wildfire across Twitter, Reddit, and fan forums. Could she really be signing with WWE? Was this just internet fantasy? Or was it a real deal waiting to explode? The speculation grew until the night WWE made it official. She was not only joining, but she was going to make her debut on live television. The crowd's reaction was electric. From the second her entrance theme hit, fans rose to their feet. The lights dimmed, smoke filled the ramp, and a chilling cinematic package highlighted her training background, blending martial arts discipline with wrestling intensity. Cameras cut to shocked fans in the audience holding their mouths, pointing at the stage, not quite believing what they were about to witness. This wasn't just another rookie entering WWE. This was the daughter of Steven Seagal, a name that carried power, intimidation, and mystery. The company knew exactly what they were doing, bringing in someone who already had a built-in aura of danger. The commentary team drove the point home, selling the moment as one of the biggest debuts of the decade. The air was thick with anticipation. Was she going to live up to the Seagal legacy? Would she bring martial arts brutality into the ring? Or was she about to crumble under the immense spotlight of the WWE Universe? The moment her foot hit the ring apron, you could feel the shift in energy. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't nervous. She carried the same stone-cold glare her father had made famous in films. And the WWE Universe knew instantly. This was no gimmick. This was a fighter who was ready to shock the entire roster. But her arrival was only the beginning. What happened next would turn her from a surprising debut into the most talked-about newcomer in WWE history. When the news first broke that Steven Seagal's daughter had signed with WWE, many thought it was nothing more than a publicity stunt. Wrestling fans are no strangers to celebrity crossovers, and history has shown us that sometimes these appearances are short-lived. But what quickly became clear was that this wasn't about chasing the spotlight. This was about legacy. Growing up, she had lived in the shadow of her father's larger-than-life persona. Steven Seagal wasn't just an actor, he was a cultural phenomenon. His presence in films like Under Siege and Above the Law painted him as an unstoppable force, a man who could dismantle entire armies with nothing more than a glare and his martial arts mastery. Imagine being raised under that kind of shadow, constantly compared to a man who was once considered the most dangerous action star alive. For most, the pressure would be crushing, but for her, it became fuel. From an early age, she trained in martial arts, learning both the discipline and philosophy her father had championed. Unlike many celebrity children who drift into entertainment because of their last name, she carved her path through sweat, bruises, and relentless effort. Wrestling wasn't just a career option. It was the arena where she could finally prove she was more than Steven Seagal's daughter. When she walked down that ramp for the very first time, she wasn't greeted with polite applause. She was met with an explosive reaction that few rookies ever receive. Fans held up signs, commentators shouted over each other, and social media lit up instantly. Her debut wasn't just trending, it was dominating the internet. Hashtags with her name began climbing worldwide charts, proving that she wasn't just another addition to the roster. She was already a headline attraction. A WWE leaned into this narrative, crafting vignettes that blended her Hollywood upbringing with her intense training. These video packages weren't sugar-coated. They showed her sweating in gyms, practicing grapples, throwing brutal kicks, and taking bumps with the kind of resilience you'd expect from someone carrying a legendary name. It made one thing clear. She wasn't here for a cameo, she was here to fight. And fight she did. Her very first promo in the ring silenced doubters instantly. She didn't stumble or look nervous. Instead, she stood the center stage, microphone in hand, and declared to the world that she wasn't here to live in anyone's shadow. She promised the WWE Universe that she was going to carve her own path, not by talking, but by fighting. The crowd erupted. In that single moment, the daughter of Steven Seagal transformed from a rumor into a force to be reckoned with. The locker room, however, wasn't nearly as welcoming. Backstage whispers revealed that not everyone was thrilled about her signing. Veteran stars questioned whether she had truly earned her spot, while others feared her martial arts background gave her an unfair edge. Tensions began bubbling beneath the surface, setting the stage for the shocking drama that was about to unfold. If her debut shook the WWE Universe, what happened backstage threatened to tear the locker room apart. And it all centered around her first major feud. Every great wrestling career begins with a defining rivalry. For Steven Seagal's daughter, that rivalry came quicker than anyone expected. And it wasn't just about proving herself in the ring. It was about survival in an environment that thrives on competition, jealousy, and betrayal. WWE officials knew her star power was undeniable. To capitalize on the momentum, they paired her against one of the most aggressive women in the company, a fan favorite with years of experience and a reputation for ending careers. This wasn't going to be a friendly welcome. This was a trial by fire. The feud began with subtle tension, side-eye glares backstage, offhanded remarks during interviews, and commentators dropping hints that jealousy was brewing. Fans could sense the tension, and they ate it up. WWE was crafting a slow-burn rivalry that would explode on live television. The first real altercation happened during a tag team match. Seagal's daughter tagged in for the final stretch, only for her veteran partner to suddenly step back, leaving her alone against two opponents. The betrayal was shocking. The crowd booed loudly, commentators screamed, and the camera zoomed in on her stunned face. She didn't retreat, though. Instead, she fought with everything she had, throwing strikes so sharp and precise that the arena erupted in chants of her name. She lost the match, but she won the fans' respect. This moment shifted the feud into overdrive. Week after week, the veteran used every dirty trick in the book: sneak attacks in the locker room, ambushes during interviews, and even planting rumors that Seagal's daughter was only in WWE because of her famous last name. The storyline blurred the lines between reality and fiction, and fans couldn't stop talking about it. Was this all scripted drama, or was there real heat behind the scenes? The rivalry culminated in a pay-per-view showdown. The build-up was electric. Video packages replayed her betrayal, the ambushes, the chaos. Social media was ablaze, and fans were divided. Some thought she was still a rookie riding on her father's fame, while others saw her as a warrior ready to stand on her own. When the match finally arrived, the intensity was off the charts. Every punch, every grapple, every slam felt personal. The veteran tried to humiliate her, taunting her between moves, but the crowd rallied behind Seagal's daughter. In the final moments, she countered a devastating finisher with a lightning-fast submission hold that forced her rival to tap out in the center of the ring. The arena erupted. This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. Steven Seagal's daughter had arrived, and she had silenced the critics in the most dramatic way possible. But while the fans celebrated, storm clouds were gathering behind the curtain. Her victory had made her a star overnight, but it also painted a massive target on her back. The higher she climbed, the more dangerous the game became, and the next twist in her journey would be even more shocking than anyone could have predicted. She won her first feud in spectacular fashion, but what happened next would blur the line between scripted rivalry and real-life danger inside the WWE. In WWE, storylines are carefully written, rehearsed, and delivered for maximum drama. But sometimes reality has no script, and when Steven Seagal's daughter found herself in the middle of a moment that wasn't planned, fans realized just how dangerous this world could be. The drama began during a live episode of Raw. She was set to deliver a promo, hyping up her recent feud victory. The crowd was buzzing, eager to hear from the rising star who had just proven she wasn't a shadow of her father's legacy. Her words were sharp, filled with fire, promising that no woman in WWE was safe from her rise to dominance. The fans roared, but not everyone backstage was clapping. One veteran competitor, furious over the spotlight being stolen, decided to make a statement of her own. Unscripted, she stormed into the ring mid-promo, microphone in hand, and unleashed a tirade that wasn't on the cue cards. Accusations flew: favoritism, nepotism, and even claims that Seagal's daughter hadn't earned her spot the hard way. The arena fell silent. Was this part of the show, or was this real? The tension escalated when the veteran got physical. What was supposed to be a harmless shove turned into a stiff, bone-jarring hit that sent Seagal's daughter crashing into the corner. The crowd gasped. Commentators hesitated. Everyone watching knew this wasn't scripted anymore. But here's the shocking part. Instead of backing down, Seagal's daughter fired back with a real strike. The slap echoed so loud it shook the arena. Suddenly, a scripted segment had turned into a legitimate fight in the middle of the ring. Security rushed out, referees tried to separate them, but the damage was done. Fans had just witnessed a shoot, a real confrontation that blurred the line between performance and reality. Social media exploded within minutes. Clips of the brawl trended worldwide. Some fans praised her for standing her ground, while others criticized WWE for letting things spiral out of control on live TV. Wrestling journalists speculated endlessly. Was this planned chaos to boost ratings, or had the veteran really snapped out of jealousy? Backstage reports later revealed the truth. The veteran had gone off script out of frustration, but WWE decided to spin it into a storyline to keep the buzz alive. In the end, what could have been a disaster turned into one of the most talked-about segments of the year. This moment did something no scripted promo could ever do. It made Steven Seagal's daughter look real. Not just a performer, not just a character, but a fighter who refused to be humiliated, even when the script was thrown out the window. Her reputation skyrocketed, but so did the stakes. From that point on, she wasn't just another WWE rookie. She was the star who blurred reality with entertainment. And that meant every feud, every rivalry, every word she spoke would be under a microscope. If fans thought the unscripted chaos was shocking, they weren't ready for what came next. A betrayal so personal it shook the WWE locker room to its core. For months, Steven Seagal's daughter had been riding a wave of momentum. The crowd loved her resilience, the locker room had begun to respect her, and management clearly saw her as the future. But in WWE, success paints a target on your back. And the moment she reached the top of her first storyline peak, the unthinkable happened. Betrayal. It started backstage, where alliances are fragile and rivalries often feel too real. She had formed a bond with one of the most trusted female veterans in the company, a wrestler who had vouched for her when others doubted her. They were often seen together on camera, training clips, and even tag matches that showcased their chemistry. Fans believed this duo was unstoppable, the perfect mix of youth and experience. But when the cameras rolled during one fateful main event, that illusion shattered. The match was supposed to be a straightforward tag team bout, a showcase of teamwork against two heels. The first half of the match went exactly as scripted. Fast-paced offense, slick double-team maneuvers, and big pops from the crowd. Everything looked like the perfect highlight reel moment. Then came the twist no one saw coming. As Steven Seagal's daughter extended her hand for the hot tag, exhausted but ready for the comeback, her partner pulled her hand away. The audience gasped in disbelief. The commentators froze, unsure how to cover the moment. And then, in one of the most shocking visuals of the year, her supposed ally jumped off the apron and walked away, leaving her completely alone against two brutal opponents. The betrayal wasn't scripted, at least not in the way fans thought. Reports later revealed that creative had pitched a slow-burn heel turn, but the veteran insisted on shocking the audience by doing it right then and there, without notice. The rawness of the moment made it unforgettable. Seagal's daughter fought desperately, throwing punches, landing kicks, refusing to give in. But the two-on-one assault was too much. She was pinned decisively, staring up at the lights with tears of anger in her eyes as her former partner smirked at the top of the ramp. The betrayal hit harder than any physical strike. Fans in the arena were stunned. On social media, hashtags like Nashichik Why Did She Do It and Dichichichi Betrayal of the Year trended within minutes. Longtime WWE viewers compared it to some of the most infamous heel turns in history, saying it felt just as raw, just as personal. Backstage, reports circulated that Seagal's daughter took the betrayal personally. She trusted that veteran, looked up to her as a guide, only to be stabbed in the back under the brightest lights. And WWE? They capitalized on it instantly. What began as one shocking moment became a storyline that dominated weekly television. This betrayal wasn't just about a match. It became about respect, jealousy, and survival in a cutthroat business, and for Steven Seagal's daughter, it set the stage for her most personal feud yet. If betrayal wasn't enough, the climax of this feud would lead to a career-defining match, one that left fans screaming, "This is the moment she truly became a star." The betrayal had set the WWE Universe on fire. Fans weren't just watching anymore, they were emotionally invested. Steven Seagal's daughter had been humiliated, left broken in front of millions, and the crowd wanted justice. WWE knew they had lightning in a bottle, and they built the story toward a massive pay-per-view showdown. It wasn't just a wrestling match, it was revenge. The build-up was unlike anything in recent memory. Promos ran every week, each one more fiery than the last. Seagal's daughter spoke with raw passion, her voice cracking as she promised the world she wouldn't be remembered as a rookie who got betrayed, but as the fighter who stood tall no matter how many times she was knocked down. Her opponent, the veteran who turned her back, doubled down, mocking her in interviews and belittling her in promos. "You'll never be more than Steven Seagal's kid." Those words lit a fire that no script could have created. The night of the match, the atmosphere was electric. Fans held signs, chanted her name, and roared when her music hit. She walked to the ring with a look of pure determination. No flashy poses, no pandering. Just a fighter ready to reclaim her dignity. The veteran entered to a chorus of boos, relishing in the hatred, feeding off the chaos she had created. From the opening bell, it was clear this wasn't going to be a clean technical showcase. It was a fight. Every strike landed harder, every slam echoed louder, and every scream from the crowd pushed the intensity higher. Seagal's daughter fought with a desperation the audience had never seen before. Her punches weren't just moves, they were statements. Every kick, every takedown was fueled by betrayal, rage, and the need to prove herself. At one point, the veteran nearly stole the win with a devastating finisher, and the crowd fell silent. But Seagal's daughter kicked out at 2. The arena erupted in a deafening cheer. The veteran's frustration boiled over and she screamed at the referee, giving Seagal's daughter the opening she needed. With a sudden burst of energy, she countered, hit her own finisher, and collapsed into the cover. The referee's hand slapped the mat. 1, 2, 3. The crowd exploded. Fireworks blasted, fans jumped to their feet, and chants of her name echoed throughout the arena. Tears streamed down her face as her hand was raised in victory. This wasn't just a scripted win. It was vindication. A rookie had walked through betrayal, humiliation, and doubt, and emerged stronger than anyone believed possible. Backstage, even the harshest critics admitted she had earned her place. Journalists called it the making of a megastar, and social media was flooded with posts declaring her the future of WWE. This was the night Steven Seagal's daughter stopped being a headline and became a household name. And if you thought this story was shocking, just wait, because the next chapter in her WWE journey is already being written, and it promises to be even more explosive. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned, because this saga is only just beginning.